Welcome back to the TFC YouTube channel. We've got a special one planned for you today. We are going to be checking out the AD200 Pro Mark II, and we'll do some test shots with it, so keep watching until the end to find out how it actually performs. Our AD600 Pro Mark II video is very popular right now. If you've missed it, go check it out now. It seems more and more people are hopping onto the Godox trend right now, which makes complete sense. Godox is still budget friendly, but delivers really high quality products and is taking over a bigger portion of the market every time. We've already done a short video unboxing the 200 Pro Mark II, but it really deserves an in-depth video as well. Let us know in the comments what you are shooting with. If you are already using Godox, or if you're looking which one to invest in, maybe we'll make this a Godox series. We're going to start off going over some improvements and new features and updates from the AD200 Pro, and then I have a test shoot planned to test out some of these new features I will tell you about now. This is the box it comes with. I've already opened it to assemble the light. We're gonna check out all of these things later on. The first thing we're going to notice is the screen on the back. Let me turn it on. It will really help to put the battery in, I think. Let's try again. It's looking better. As you can see, this is already a huge improvement compared to the previous models, which had a very dark screen. This is a new TFT screen. It's made of glass. It's really hard to scratch it. It's durable. It's small, but it's just so much easier to see, especially also if you're viewing it from a slight angle. It's so much brighter than before. If you're working in sunlight, this is going to be a big improvement. The menu is pretty self-explanatory. We'll get into that a little bit later, but what I want to show you first are these group indicator lights on the side here. Let me change the group. So if I change the groups here, you can see a lot of different colors. There's a red, green, blue. You can see a little light on this side, and there's another light on this side. Group indicators are helpful if you're working with groups of flashes or you need to control several flashes at the same time. My only critique of these group indicator lights is that they're very small. If you've got the flash pretty high up, they're going to be a bit hard to see. But other than that, it's great to have them, and there's so many different groups that you can choose from. Another change they've made, or a feature they've essentially reintroduced, is the external port here. If I open up this bit, you can see they've reintroduced the port for an external battery pack. So you don't have to rely on just the battery. It also speeds up your cycle time. Another improvement, which is great especially for photographers who shoot in bursts and shoot for a long time, is they've introduced fans to the new heads. As you can see here on the side, on the grills, on this flash, and also on the Fresnel heads, on the side, and here. They're going to give you a longer time of rapid shooting before the overheating warning, and even then you can still continue to shoot. It will, however, slow down your cycle time quite significantly. Staying with the heads, we can also spot one of the major additions they have made, the modeling bulbs on both of these heads. You can see here around the flash bulb and here along the top and bottom of the Fresnel head. They are bicolor as well. They're going from 2800 Kelvin to about 6000 Kelvin. Important to mention is also the compatibility here. All the heads from the 200 series are going to fit onto this new body. This, for example, includes the ADL LED head, the S200 stick flash, and the R200 ring light. So you don't have to buy new heads to upgrade to the AD200 Pro Mark II. You can also still add the S2 brackets to add a Bowens mount, so I'll show you how to do that later. You can remove the heads by pushing this to the back and then sliding the head up, and the same with pushing it back in, line it up, slide it down, and hear the click. With the Fresnel head, you get a faster flash duration than with the bare bulb. You get a flash duration of 1/23,500, which is very fast. So if you need to freeze movement, the Fresnel head is going to give you a better result than the bulb head. However, using the bulb head when working with modifiers such as softboxes is going to give you a more even light than the Fresnel head. If you want us to test the speed of this in a test shoot, let us know in the comments down below. Let's move on to the charger. And if you know the AD200 Pro, you're going to see this has changed significantly. The older charger was much bigger. They've now reduced the size, and it is now smaller than the battery itself. It still has the same power as before, but it's just so much easier to take with you in the carrier case. You can charge it with the USB-C cable provided here, and it is also important to note that even though the light has a USB-C port on the bottom. This is not going to charge the flash. This port is only for firmware updates. The holder has the umbrella mount right here. And what I've noticed when I unpacked this is these screws can be quite annoying because if you turn them, they're going to overlap and hit each other. So what I'm going to do right after this, I'm going to switch this to the other side round so they're not going to interfere with each other. Let's take a quick look through the menu. Just turn it on. Here you've got the wireless settings where you can set your channels and your groups. And you can also use wireless sync to sync to the X3 trigger. Then we have the flash mode, which is either normal or the color stable mode. Below you have photo cell, you can set S1, S2. You've got high speed sync. You've got the modeling light, the menu for which you can also access through this button here. You can see it's off, it's free, and you can set the percentage in Kelvin, and you can also set it proportional to the flash you're going to be using. Then you can turn the beep on and off. Here you can set how you want the power to be displayed, either in fractions or in decimals. You can set how fast it will go into standby, as well as turn completely off. You can set the brightness, the flash delay, the masks, the language. You can choose between English and Chinese. And you can reset the flash. At the end, there's just some device information. This is what it would look like to shoot with decimals. So it's just going up from 1 to 10. You can also switch from manual to multi to TTL right here with the mode on top. And this green button, which is also the on and off button, is the flash button. So if I turn this around and press this button, you're going to see it flashed. That's the menu. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The one thing I want to do now though is to try to wirelessly sync the new X3 trigger. I'm going to turn this on, and if we go into the menu, there is wireless. If we click on, and you see wireless sync in orange, that's what we're going to leave it on for now, while we turn on the wireless sync here, which is going into the menu. Go into settings, and all the way in the top you see wireless, and you see the same orange writing here in the bottom. If you click that and then activate, oh, we've lost it. There we go. Click that, you can see it's already turned green, which means it's already synced to the flash. If we now come back here, you can see the power is the same. And if I change the power here, it's going to change on the flash as well. If you click the menu button again, you can also turn the modeling light on. And that's pretty much it. I really like this trigger because it's just small, it's convenient, it's got the touch screen, it's very easy to navigate, and the one-tap sync is just really nice, especially if you're under pressure for time. One thing which I also wanted to show you is how to use this flash with bigger modifiers. You can use the S2 bracket to clamp this down, and then you get a Bowens mount in the front and you can attach bigger modifiers. But I'm going to show you this with the other flash head because it's a bit trickier. Okay, so you're gonna have a hard time getting it through like this, so it's best to do it from the back. And then also make sure you're leaving some distance between this knob here and the bracket, because otherwise, if you make it too close, you're not going to be able to attach a softbox here because it'll be stuck here. Make sure you're leaving a bit behind that, and then you just clamp that down. And now you can attach it to any light stand with this and any modifier with a Bowens mount here in the front. Let's get into the test shoots. I'm using a Colorama in the color Crimson. I felt like shooting something dramatic but simple with a strong color. Okay, so I've got the first test shoot set up behind me. I'm going to use the AD200 Pro II to bounce some light off a board onto this lovely bottle of perfume. I've had this for many, many years, and you can definitely tell. We're gonna ignore that part. Gonna retouch the hell out of it. Yeah, I'll show you what I've set up. I placed the camera directly in front of the whiteboard. This is the speed I'm going to be shooting with. I'm going to use a bounce card like this to bounce back some light onto the silver part of the perfume to remove any unwanted reflections. I'm pretty happy with these results. The light was very easy to set up. For the second shoot, I planned a slightly more elaborate setup. I'm still going with the monochrome theme, so here I'm building a wall with some wood and the same colorama paper as the backdrop. I wanted a dramatic light shining onto the product from behind that wall, so I set up the AD200 Pro II on the left side, pointing across that table. So what I've set up here is my camera and is pointing directly at this mascara, which I've borrowed directly from myself. I set up this board and I've covered it in the same colorama as the backdrop and the table, so I want just a very sliver of light come behind the mascara and just hit it from the side. I'm using the AD200 Pro II as my main light source. I've attached the Fresnel head to give me a thinner strip of light than the bare bulb. I've tried it with a snoot before, which is why I have the S2 bracket around here, but I decided to go with the Fresnel head instead. And I've set up this board here just to avoid any spill of light onto the background. This is the speed I'm working with, and you can also see that I've turned the modeling light on so I can see exactly where that light's going to fall, so I know where to block it off here and hit directly the mascara, which you can see is right behind that board. Directly across from the AD200 Pro II, I've also put down this disco ball because I want to give speckled lights, just give a little bit of texture to the image. I'm also going to use this to test the color stable mode later. So I'm going to create a GIF of this spinning and the lights changing around the mascara. And after trying the setup first, I decided I needed a little bit more of a highlight coming from the front because the dark side was a bit too dark, but I just needed a second light to intensify that a bit more. So I'm using the AD300 Pro and I've attached a snoot. Don't worry about this attachment, this is because we didn't have a snoot with a Bowens mount. So we've gone through all sorts of adapters now. I'm just adding a honeycomb here to direct the light even further because I don't want any other light to spill anywhere else in the image, just onto the mascara. So let's take the final image. Here I wasn't fully happy with the fill light and adjusted it to be more prominent on the mascara. And the last bit was to move the disco ball closer and get more sparkles into the image. Then here's the final image in the edited version. The next thing I was curious about was how well the color stable mode works, so I decided to create a GIF. A GIF? Which will easily show any color shifts. So this was test shoot number 2. I'm still waiting to see how the images from the color stable mode have turned out, but I will show them to you right now, and you let me know what you think. Now, would I recommend this flash? Absolutely. Would I recommend it even if you already have the AD200 Pro? Is it worth upgrading? Also yes. I think the improvements made to this flash are going to make your life easier, your workflow smoother. With the new screen, no more overheating issues, the group indicators, the new charger, etc, etc. This light is perfect for indoor shoots, especially in smaller spaces, or as a fill light for outdoor shoots. It's not powerful enough to overpower the sun, so keep that in mind if that's what you're trying to do. You're going to need something more powerful than just this light. But it is lightweight, you can carry it everywhere, you can put it high above the model without worrying it's going to come down. It is budget friendly and just gives you so much flexibility with its power, size and the portability. If you're thinking about going for the AD200 Pro or the Pro II, I would recommend going to the Pro II straight away. Usually the older models are a bit more affordable, but at this point in time you can get the Pro II for less than £50 more than the AD200 Pro. If you're worried that this is not going to be enough power for you, the next step up is the AD300 Pro, which you can get for around £500 right now, which is quite a step up in cost. So if you don't necessarily need all that power, go for the AD200 Pro II. If you've got any questions or we've missed something, let us know in the comments down below. Like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe to our channel for more photography and videography content, check out our AD600 Pro II unboxing if you haven't already, and otherwise have a lovely day. Links for the AD200 Pro II are in the description down below, along with links to our website, events, and social media channels with shorter videos all about photography, lighting setup ideas, and educational content. See you next time.